Welcome back to the Peace and Progress Podcast, episode 15. Secret's out.
Finally.
Secret is out.
Been holding this in for a long time.
Pun intended, but dad jokes.
Right.
I'm going to have to stay on top of that for sure.
Dad jokes?
Yeah, now I got 3 kids. I got to stay on top of my dad jokes. Got to keep on my game.
Great.
Can't get all rusty. Got to stay on top of it. Okay, so Secret's out. I'll just start by saying, and then I'll let you lead because I don't know what you want to talk about. I have one thing that I wanted to talk about, and that's it. But there's been, how many episodes have we done now that you've been pregnant?
Well, we do.
At least the last 3.
Well, we've done one. We try and do one at least once a week, right?
Yeah.
So
but there was one week when my dad came.
That's true.
You're just saying since Christmas.
Yeah.
So 2 months. Did that pick up?
Probably.
Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't know. He's reading. One of the boys is reading. I think the other one's asleep.
Probably.
Yeah, so there's been at least 3 episodes that I know of. I'd have to go back and look. I'm sure there's probably more. But 3 episodes at least that are live that you're pregnant. And now you don't have to wear sweatshirts anymore. Thank God.
Or blankets.
Especially, yes, thank God I hated the blanket. That makes it so hard to edit. The thumbnail. Not necessarily the actual video. Yeah, so no more blankets, no more freaking sweatshirts. People would have started questioning and been like, it's 90 degrees today. Why is she in a sweatshirt still?
We keep our house icy, okay?
Okay, anyway. So Secret's out. Do you have anything you want to go first that you want to discuss or disclose?
Well, did you want to go into like how you found out?
That was the only thing I wanted to tell.
That's fine.
That was the only story that I had.
That you wanted to tell or that you wanted to talk about?
No, that I wanted to tell that story of how I found out. But we could talk about other stuff if you want, but that was just like the only thing that I had in mind. That was my
I mean, leading into that, I will say like we were trying, and
whoopsie.
I mean, obviously there's a big age gap, but no, we were trying, and we went to New York, and we have been trying for a while. It felt like, and we went to New York, and it just felt like it's another month, and on to the next. It wasn't going to happen, kind of thing. And when we got home, I still like wasn't where I was supposed to be for that month, I guess. And so I ChatGPT'd it. Because the other thing is we were walking, as we'd mentioned in, the previous podcast and stuff, we were walking a lot, like 8 miles a day. So I thought like maybe
was that an Eminem reference?
All of the sudden, increase in activity was like messing with my body. So I ChatGPT'd it, and it was like, we'll give it, a couple of days. At that point, we had already been home for a day.
Wait, pause. By the way, for the millennials, ChatGPT is like our new age version of Ask Jeeves. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. And then it said, if nothing happens by tomorrow, then take a test. So that's what I did. And I always like, it's so funny because in months previous, I don't even think you knew this, but you would be working out, and I would get up and like take a test because you're supposed to take it like first thing in the morning. But
then you just hit them.
Yeah,
I never saw any
like at the bottom of the trash can.
And men don't check those, so.
Oh right, yeah, because like for one, like I was in the like first few months, I was taking tests like ridiculously to the point where you were like, okay, you need to stop.
Yeah, you started opening COVID tests just to take them. I was like, what are you doing?
You're being ridiculous. No, so then I mean at this point I was basically just like waiting and then taking the test. But either way, it was the same kind of thing, is just in case it wasn't, like it's almost like this like low level embarrassment that I'm like like excited. I don't know, not excited to say, that's not the best word, but like um I don't know, taking another test if it's just going to be negative again, kind of thing.
Well, it has to be positive at some point.
Well, right, but like at that point, which is what happened, like then I would tell you. Um so that is actually what happened is I took the test and it was positive like immediately.
For
Um
COVID.
so
Dad, I got to get my dad jokes up.
you were working out and I was so tempted to go out there and just show you the test.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, wait, it's a week before Christmas and
Wait, no, you're telling my story now.
well, I'll stop there. But I was like, it's a week before Christmas. And my other thought was with both of the boys, I immediately went and told you.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Brixton's.
yeah.
I don't remember Jackson's. I obviously was.
I kind of remember Jackson.
I don't remember that at all.
I only remember that we were.
I probably passed out.
No, but I remember with Jackson's that you made me take like a bunch of tests. Like you didn't believe
No,
it.
that was Brixton's because I was like, there's no way, dude. It's been 2 years.
I just remember with Jax, we were on our way to go to like a doctor's appointment with your mom. And so we literally found out that I was pregnant right before this appointment. And obviously, like we've
Oh,
talked,
yeah. I do remember that. It was out here in Simi.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it before. Like we're super close with her. So like it was so hard not to say anything or even give away that like something was up in that.
Yeah. I probably looked like the day I was going to propose to you. Like I was going to
Yeah.
throw up and pass out at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
my body's rejecting
And then
everything.
we kept it from her for a couple more months because then we told her on Mother's Day.
Was it Mother's Day?
Mm-hmm. It was Mother's Day weekend.
Why would I have told everybody else then too?
It just happened to be 3 months. It just happened to be like the 12-week mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, so back to this time, I was like, I want to surprise you because Christmas is a week away.
Oh, that you did.
Yeah. So that's
Surprise.
I'll hand it off to you.
Hand it off to you. Okay, so I want to back up a little bit because I think that this is not necessarily an important detail, but this is one thing that I wanted to share about because you had mentioned that we had been trying this time.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, but after obviously having two, there is such a big age gap. Like he's going to be 6 years old in July.
Mm-hmm.
So he's almost 6. I was done at 2. Like I had always wanted 2 kids. I knew I always wanted 2 kids. And I also wanted a boy and a girl, but obviously you can't choose what you get. But either way, I was done after 2. I was like, I don't want any more kids. And then after everything that happened with my mom, I started thinking a lot more about it. And obviously, I mean, and most people that know me know, like, family to me, even more so now, is such a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, which we kind of touched on in the last episode, is like, I really got hit hard with this reality that everybody's time here is limited.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't have an infinite amount of time. And so it really got me thinking, almost in a weird way, about wanting to have kids again, because it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to be here forever. So ultimately, like, this was kind of my thought process, and not to like what?
The other thing is like once we're gone, all they will have is each other. So
Right. But not to undermine having kids, because that is such a big life decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really have to think about it, because if you don't, you're just being selfish, in my opinion. But when I thought about the concept of the fact that like I'm not going to be here forever, I really started thinking like literally everything in life then doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter. And again, not to like get too preachy and back to like the last podcast episode, but like it again got me thinking. It's like, so if I fail at all these things, like I'm not going to be here someday. So it doesn't matter. Like it's nothing is real, essentially, is kind of like how I was looking at it. And it's just like, it doesn't matter then. Why does it matter if I have 2 kids or 3 kids or 7 kids? Like,
whoa.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's just like, you have to deal with whatever that thing is for a very short period of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, again, going back to the concept of like failing at something, like you only have to deal with the embarrassment that you failed at something for a short period of time, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be here. So ultimately, it's not going to matter. So anyway, jumping ahead now was like, after having that conversation with you, and was like, you know what? I just want to be around family and people that I love as much as possible and as long as possible while I'm still here. So I wouldn't mind talking about having another one. And then again, knowing that you can't plan things, the goal was, my mom's birth month was May. So the goal was to try and have a baby that's born in May. And so going back to like your topic of the fact that like we had been trying for a few months and it just wasn't working. And so initially I was very hard on myself and kind of like disappointed that it didn't happen in May. But like how you had said is like, we were trying to make something happen so hard that like when in reality we didn't really have control over that situation. Like whatever was going to happen was meant to happen.
Right.
And there was no point in being all upset or like hard on yourself for the fact that like it didn't work out the way that we had wanted to. Like that's, again, I feel like the story of life is like things oftentimes don't work out the way you wanted to, but there's always a reason and a purpose for it, which leads me into me wanting to tell this story. Is we also both agreed, and I don't know if you still feel the same way, but we agreed that if we went into 2026 and you weren't pregnant yet, that we were just going to agree that it wasn't meant to be, to have another kid. I know we talked about that at least once, maybe twice. I don't know if you still felt the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was
getting discouraged.
Yes. And obviously, like, we're not getting any younger, so it was just this feeling of just this feeling of like, how long am I gonna try? Am I gonna be, trying at 38, 39? And it's like, that's, I don't know. Like, I don't know. How long am I gonna prolong this feeling of being discouraged? I guess.
Yeah.
Because even though like each month it seemed to be, I don't know. I would say like each month it got a little bit easier, but that's not necessarily true, because there's always this feeling of like, what are we doing or what are we not doing to make this happen? Because with both of the boys, it was just kind of like, yeah, sure, let's start. Maybe we'll start having kids. And then I was already pregnant by that point. Like, it was so...
I didn't have that conversation. You told me about Bricks. I was like, again, dude? Like, we literally just raised this one.
Yeah. I mean, with Bricks, it was just very like...
Also, again, timeline context is like we were still under 30 years old.
Right.
Or whatever. We had just turning 30. We were 29.
I think in both situations we were just more relaxed, obviously, and obviously younger. There wasn't like this pressure, and
clearly.
So I don't know. I mean, I think like you said is like, I think that things happened the way that they were supposed to happen, but yeah, it was definitely discouraging when it didn't happen. It didn't seem to happen as fast as like when I got pregnant with the boys.
Truthfully, though, it was only August to November.
Not necessarily, because we started like trying, like not actively trying, but in July we were also trying.
That's 1 month before August.
Well, right, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
Long time.
Right, but
because
I'm just thinking.
Month it's only like once.
Right, but like, okay, don't need to add that in, but. You talking your window was only once?
No, I'm talking about like, no, you could.
Oh, okay. Anyway, okay, past that. I'm just saying, think about like the concept. Like some people take years. It's really hard. Right. So I just don't want to make it seem like that for people that really are like it's taking a long time. Yes, August or July to November. Yes, it is a long period of time if you're trying. But again, saying like, it's also there's plenty of people I'm sure that it's been much longer that have
No,
been
I
trying. So I
know.
don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it sound like
No.
it was so long, and then you know.
No, I would say for us, with the boys,
Mm.
we were never like actively trying like this. I wasn't, like watching my
I think a lot of it had
cycle
to do
and
with the
all of
fact that
that.
we were younger too.
Yeah, and I think like I said, is like we were way more relaxed and it was like, well, whatever happens, happens kind of thing. And this time, obviously, like we were way more involved in it. And I feel like maybe our stress level was a little bit higher, so
Oh,
like
for
all
sure.
of that obviously plays into it. Um, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, so you want to
Oh,
keep
back
going?
that was you just handing it back to
Sure,
me.
sure.
I didn't know if you had more on that. I was saying trying the goal was to have a baby in May and it didn't happen, and then we had a conversation that was just like if we go into 2026 and we're not pregnant yet, then
That was
we're
after like a couple months.
okay. Can I tell my side?
Yes.
Okay.
But it wasn't like, oh, well, it didn't happen to me, so now like
No,
we
I know.
scratch
I
the
know.
idea.
I'm leading up to the conversation
Okay.
about like how you told me. So, um yeah, I don't even remember where I was going with that. You threw off my train of thought.
We were talking about if by 2026.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, so I feel like I have to tell this part at the end just to give context to the whole backstory of everything on how I found out. But obviously remember that part is like we were trying to have a baby in May, it wasn't working, and then we had talked about going into 2026. If we're not pregnant, then it wasn't meant to be, right? So obviously for the people that I think you already announced the baby was due in August. Yeah? On Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, so backtracking, people that do the math can figure out that you got pregnant in November. Or was it early December?
Some point.
Okay, anyway,
It doesn't
so
matter.
you announced the baby's due in August. Now let's backtrack to Christmas Day. This is the day that I found out. You had already known for a week by this point,
Yes.
right? So, and that was like right after we got back from New York?
It was a week. Yeah. Yeah.
A week
Right
after?
after. No, no,
Well,
no.
no, yeah. Because Christmas was the week after
Yes.
New York. Okay, anyway, so you found out as soon as we got back. And then Christmas happened a week later. And so I feel like I have to tell it this way for a specific reason to like leave out the details and then come back around and be like, oh, what? Anyway, so Christmas morning, I wake up, worked out as I usually do, because obviously I have the day off, and I just get everything ready to
Seen his bed.
do Christmas. I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway, worked out Christmas morning as I always do, and then I like to come in and make a cup of coffee and just enjoy the silence before all the chaos and stuff like that. And my mom used to come over Christmas morning and help me get everything set up and ready for the kids and all that, and like come out, and then we would open presents once the kids wake up, which is 6:30 on the dot every single day. So I got up, had my cup of coffee, was hanging out, getting everything ready, and your parents said, well, your dad and Cynthia said that.
My sister had spent the night too.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yes, forgot I had to add that in because there's a reason for that. So your sister had spent the night Christmas Eve, and then was obviously here for Christmas morning. Your dad and Cynthia wanted to come over to watch the kids open gifts, and we were like, sure, they're up at 6:30, so if you guys are up bright and early, you guys can come over and do all that stuff. So they came over, and then I remember I went.
You came back in the
you
room.
yeah, you came in the I came in the room, and you went out into the living room with your dad and Cynthia and your sister,
Mm-hmm.
and we were all just kind of hanging out out there
Waiting for the boys
for a
'cause
little
they
bit. Yeah, they were
hadn't
like
woken up
sleeping in.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically, the one day that they're not up at 6:30 on the dot. And I think I said, "Well, do you want me to go wake them up?" And you were like, "Yeah, go wake them up or whatever." So I was like, "Okay." So at that point, you had hidden a stocking,
Mm-hmm.
apparently. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if it was the night before or that morning. That part I don't know. I don't think you ever told me that.
It was. Now I'm trying to remember when I did it. It was already like in our closet. but I can't remember because you couldn't have been in the room when I took it
to
out.
see it.
Yeah. I think maybe what happened was I had it in a bag, like a brown paper bag, and just brought it out as if it was like something extra to put in the boys' stockings.
Hmm.
So you wouldn't have asked any questions, but I brought it out
I
and
probably
like,
wouldn't have asked questions if I saw it either.
yeah,
I would have just, I mean, obviously,
no.
now telling the story, which we'll get to that point. But okay, so anyway, so you would hit it. And then when I went to go wake up the boys, you hung it.
Hmm.
And then we'll get to what was actually in the stocking. But so wake the boys up, come out, we see everything, and everybody's excited and ready to, play with all the new stuff that they got. So our traditional thing, which I think for most people, you open the stockings first and just hand them out. So you had said you would ask that you want to open stockings first. And obviously, again, not thinking anything of it because that's what we always do. So I was like, yeah, sure. And you said, well, why don't you hand them out? So I'm going and getting them all. And we have mine and
Hmm.
yours, which
Hmm.
also has both. I think yours has your name on it. Yeah. Or is yours
I don't
not?
know.
Yours
I
is the
don't
only
think
one.
so.
Anyway, so I know which one is yours. Mine has
Right.
my name on it. And then the boys both have one each with their name on it. And then my mom had one. And we always just leave it up as
Right.
like a tradition. Like
Right.
we leave it up and we usually put stuff in it. There was always like this ongoing joke that she had a Snickers and a Coke every single day. So just to keep that tradition, we put a Snickers and a Coke in the stocking
Right.
every year. And then I'll probably end up eating and drinking it by some point. But so anyway, so I'm handing them out and there's an extra stocking. And my first reaction is thinking it was your sister's. So I was like, whose is this? Why is your sister like, why is there an extra stocking here? And you were like, I don't know, you should open it. And immediately, like, my mind, I was just like, okay, like, you're doing something that I know. But also too, and I've told you this before, is you're not good at not dropping clues that you think you're being sneaky about. Like you had said like days before, because everything is a competition with you, right? Like every
Oh,
birthday
just
and
with me?
anniversary,
Just with me.
we're both. We've already established
Okay.
this. It's the iFelice thing. Anyway, so it's always like birthday presents and anniversaries is like who has the better gift. And truthfully, I have been slacking for a long time, especially since the Taylor Swift tickets. But you came to me like 2 days before and was like, I just want you to know I won Christmas. And I'm like, dude, I know what I bought from Free People for you. I spent way more money than I know you did. And you were like, I didn't say in money amount or whatever
No,
you
I
said.
didn't say that. I
You
wouldn't have
said
said that.
you said something like that. You said something like I didn't say it was dollar figures or something. And that even more
Maybe,
alluded
yeah.
to I was like, you're so stupid. So then I knew like I had a hunch that you were pregnant.
Well,
I
good
still
thing you didn't say like, "What are you pregnant?" and like spoil the whole thing.
yeah, you wouldn't have been able to keep a straight face for sure.
No.
Poker face. Um yeah, so I kind of like had a hunch. I wasn't just like set.
Right.
I wasn't like for sure she's pregnant,
Because
but
I'm sure you didn't want to guess and then be wrong and then have it like
no.
brought up
I
and
wouldn't
this
have
is
guessed. Even
awkward.
if I knew, I just would have kept my mouth shut and just been like, okay, and then just acted surprised on Christmas.
Okay.
So you were dropping like clues like that, like just stupid stuff. And I'm like, okay, this girl's doing something that she thinks she's being sneaky about, and she's not at all. You're like the least sneaky person. Anyway, so when you said that, you're like, I don't know, why don't you open it? So now here's where I have to backtrack because this is where the story connects and where I start putting two and two together in my head, right? So Jackson and Brixton have their own stockings.
Let me just say though that you wouldn't have known. Did you even know that that happened with the stocking?
Yes.
Oh.
Can I tell my story and then
Sure,
you can
sure,
say
sure. Yeah.
if okay, so Jackson and Brixton each have their own stocking.
Yes. Embroidered with their names.
Right, which my mom bought for both of them from Pottery Barn,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody who knows that that was her favorite store.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
literally, we used to joke that she just forever had credit to that store because what she would do is she would buy stuff, return it, buy stuff, return it, buy stuff, return it, use her credit, return it, return it. And so, like, we never knew if she was keeping anything. She used to always just test it out in her home and be
Mhm.
like, I don't like it. I'm going to return it. So she forever had credit.
She would have like buyer's remorse, but then like she would get their like reward money or whatever. Well, I have to bend it or buy it because I have
Money, yeah.
$10 at
Yeah.
Pottery Barn
Yeah.
and it's gonna expire. And it's like you don't have to, but
Right. Anyway, so
Yeah.
now you see where I'm kind of getting my addictions from. Anyway, so the boys both have a stocking from Pottery Barn with their names embroidered on it. And I didn't remember up until this point, but a few years ago, my mom bought a just in case stocking.
Gender neutral.
Yes, in case we ever had an extra baby, because she really wanted us to have another baby, which
Mhm.
again, going back to a conversation of having a conversation about having another one, that was like one of my biggest reasons for just being like, you know what? Yes, because she would have wanted another one.
Mhm.
And like, there's really, truthfully, again, there's no reason for me to not have another kid. Like, not as long as it's not in a selfish way, like, oh, we could just have kids. We're fine. We'll figure it out. You know, like it is a huge responsibility to be a parent and have a kid, whether it's 1, 2, 5. But yeah, so she bought it just in case stocking. And that's when it started to click. And I realized obviously it wasn't your sister's,
Mhm.
it's that stocking. So that even gave me more of like that clue, like you're doing something sneaky. And I'm on to what it is, but I don't want to say it just yet because I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I bet too is like, did you ever see the stocking?
Mhm.
Oh, well,
I've seen it like once or twice.
Yeah, it had been
It
in
was
our
it was like 3 years
closet.
ago.
Yeah, it had been in our closet for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it's
Probably
not
since.
like it was just like out. Like you wouldn't
No, but
see it and be like, oh.
I did remember that when you said,
Well, I'm
no,
sure
it's not my sister's. You should
when
open
it
it.
was right next to the boys too, and it's
I didn't pick that up.
very similar style.
Did not pick that up.
Oh, well. Okay. Anyway, so you grab the stocking.
Mhm. And also, too, the other thing that was very, very blatantly obvious. Again, another sign. I'm just like, So we bought. I don't even remember what for or where, but you bought a swaddle.
It was kind of a similar thing. There was a butterfly.
Where were we?
It was on Instagram. I bought it.
Oh, I thought that we were at like Santa Barbara, or not Santa
No.
Barbara, San Diego Zoo or something.
No,
Or
I saw it on Instagram.
not San Diego, the Living Desert.
No, I saw it on Instagram, and it was kind of like, and it was like a couple years ago. And it was kind of like, well, if I don't buy it now, like, what if it goes out of stock? And
Yeah.
I really like it, blah blah blah. So it was just like, and it was like $20. It wasn't anything crazy.
It's just pocket change.
Anyway, so I bought it, and then it's same thing. It's been sitting in my closet ever since.
Maybe you should go through your closet. It sounds like you got a lot of things in there.
Yeah, well, eventually I will have to. But anyways, keep going. So that
Okay, so that there was a butterfly swaddle that was like sticking out of the top of the stocking.
I made it do that on purpose.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. So
And then
this is how I've been telling the story. I truthfully, like, again, what?
I know what you're gonna say, and go ahead.
What am I gonna say?
That you truthfully thought that I had wrapped up the
Yeah. Okay,
test.
pause. Okay, so I was again starting to catch on to like this whole pregnancy thing, but again, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. So
Right.
I'm not trying to like allude to like that I know. I'm just trying to play it cool, because if it's not, then I'm gonna feel really stupid.
Right.
So I'm thinking it's either that or it's something like sentimental that has to do with my mom, because I realized what stocking it was, and then I saw the butterfly swaddle. So anyway, I take out the butterfly swaddle, and underneath that in the stocking is a baby onesie. But it was like rolled up. So like you couldn't really tell what it was. It looked like another blanket. So I pull both of those out, and I'm reaching in the stocking, and you're like, there's
That's
nothing
it.
in there. And I was like, there's nothing in there. What? I thought it was going to be a pregnancy test.
That's disgusting. First of all, anybody
There's a
who
cap
does
on
that,
it.
no.
I'm sure people have done that. If you've done
I
that,
know
or you know,
people have done that.
If you've done that, or you know somebody who's done that, put it in the comments below. No shame. You won't be judged.
No, in my opinion, that's so gross. Like
there's a cap.
Yeah, but
It's not like you're flinging pee everywhere.
no. But it's not like it stays contained. Like sometimes maybe it's not all.
You got rogue urine?
Okay. I'm just saying, like, the whole like thought process behind that is like literally you pee on the stick. Whether there's a cap on it or not, like that's so disgusting in my opinion. Like,
People have done weirder things.
yeah. Anyways,
Okay,
so
so there's no
you're
pregnancy test.
unrolling the
There's
blanket.
no, not the blanket. Well, yeah, the swaddle.
Right.
Yeah, so then I start opening up the swaddle because it's butterflies. And I don't know what the other one is at this point because it's still rolled up. But I'm unrolling the butterfly swaddle and you're like, oh, there's nothing in there either. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What are you doing to me? Like at this point, I think you're just playing mind games and you're like just mentally screwing with me.
Remember all these things that I have?
Yeah, you're just like, here's all these things I found in my closet. Surprise, Merry Christmas.
I win.
Yeah, like I was like, what are you doing? So then I go, is there something in here, which was the swaddle, and you said
No, it was the onesie.
or the onesie, yeah, sorry. And you said yes. You hesitated though. So
Well, it was like
again,
you're gonna figure it out once you open it.
no, but if you watch the video,
You
which
did
I
it all
probably
slow.
won't post.
Yeah, you kind of like unroll
No, I opened
it.
well because I was again waiting to catch a pregnancy test. I'm like, something is gonna be in here. And
It's gonna jump out.
I was like, it's either a puppy or a pregnancy test. I don't know which one, but
Okay.
it's one of the two. And so I opened on the video that you have of me finding it out. I opened the whole swaddle, open it
the
up.
onesie.
The onesie. Oh my God. You put too many things in that stocking. I'm just a boy. I can't figure it all out.
Okay.
So I opened the onesie and I like hesitated. It's fully open. And Cynthia even found out, like she
put two and two together faster.
way
than you
before
did.
I did.
Yeah.
Well,
or
no,
faster than you could respond. I would say.
and my
React.
brain was like, I know what I'm looking at, but like I wasn't finding what I was looking for. I'm like, this gift sucks. There's no pregnancy test in here. So anyway, so then I opened the onesie and then obviously that's when I knew.
Yeah, and then you started crying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we could just throw that out there. Why don't you just boop, we'll put it right here. We'll just put a video of me crying right here.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that's
How I found out. Yeah. Crazy times. Oh, so yeah, just to bring it back full circle now. So when I started that conversation, I had said that we were trying to have a baby in May and it wasn't working. And then we had talked about not having a baby if we didn't get pregnant in 2025. You ended up getting pregnant in November or December.
Finding out in December, yeah.
Right. So then doing that math now, fast forwarding ahead, most people don't know this, but doing the math, you could figure out that the baby is born in August, or
Due
also
in
if you,
August, yeah.
yeah, also if you've seen the post that we've already put on Instagram, you see that the due date is in August. I don't know. You didn't announce the day though. So do you care
No.
about?
No, because the thing is like the boys were both born like about a week and a half before their due
Okay.
date.
So,
Due date is a due date, but it's more or less just like, okay, that's weird.
right. Okay. So this was the craziest part, and I'll end it like this. If you have anything else to add, otherwise, this is where I want to just close it off. This year is our 10-year anniversary of being married.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to go to Paris. And I had asked, Jack's now almost being 9. He's going to be 9. He's all into like the architecture and like history of things. And so we got engaged in Paris, which we had talked about on
At
one
the
of these
Eiffel
episodes
Tower.
at the Eiffel Tower. Jax wanted to go. And I asked you too, also backing up early on. I was like, when the 10-year anniversary comes, do you want a ring upgrade? And you were like, yeah, that would be a good time to do that. And then obviously after having kids,
Yeah, that was before kids.
yeah, your mindset kind of shifted. And I was like, would you still rather have the ring or do you want to just do like a family vacation? And you were like, no, I'd rather do a vacation
For sure.
and yeah, create memories. And so I had asked Jax where he wanted to go and he said, I want to go to Paris to see the Eiffel Tower. And then I asked Bricks where he wanted to go and he said Disneyland.
Of course.
Yeah. So I was like two totally different polar opposites, but there is a Paris in Disney. I mean, I always say that there is a Disneyland in Paris. So I was like, let's do that then. We'll go to Paris
Right.
because it's a full circle moment.
We didn't get to go. I mean, we had just like thrown it out there while we were in France before.
Throwing what out?
Oh, we should go to
No, we never
Paris
talked
to-
about that.
It was just while we were already there. So it wasn't planned at all.
I
It
don't
was just
remember
like-
that.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think we ever
Um,
talked about that.
We did. I talked about it with your mom, I think.
Anyway, so that was the goal. full circle moment. We got engaged there in 2014. We
Mhm.
haven't been back since. And now we have our own family and we're starting a new life with kids. And Jax wants to go and Brix wants to go to Disneyland. So we would just go back to where it all started 10 years later. Well, I guess 12 years later at that point. And that was the plan.
Mhm.
And our anniversary is in August. And we then found out that the due date is our anniversary, August 26th
Yeah. Which
of
is crazy.
2026. So our 10-year anniversary is the due date of the new baby. So all of that to say, we won't be going to Paris. We'll be doing a baby moon.
Before that.
Somewhere a lot closer and a lot less expensive.
But
But
the other thing is like when you get pregnant, you go and you put like your information into an app typically, and it'll tell you like an approximate due date. But then you go into the doctor and they measure the baby, and that will kind of fluctuate typically
right.
your due date based on how big the baby is.
Mhm.
And it was like the OB like doubled down, like, nope, that's your due date. And so that was just crazy.
Mhm. So the coolest part and you said this, and I don't know if you had already thought about it or you just said it on the spot, but it stuck with me. And I've told everybody that knows about the pregnancy, I've told them this story. Going back to wanting to have a baby in May,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted it to be, obviously, nothing is ever going to be perfect or again go the way that you always intended to go. And so for a long time, like I said, at least a month, I was really hard on myself and upset that I wasn't able to, that was what I truly wanted. And I was like, if we're really meant to have another baby, like this is going to happen. Like
Yeah.
you're going to get
You're
pregnant
very-
in August,
You're
which,
very big on signs, yeah.
yeah, obviously, which August is my birth month.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at it as like a gift to me,
Mm-hmm.
finding out that you're pregnant and you're going to be due in May. So my birthday is August 4th.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's birthday, I'm not going to give the date, but it's the end of May.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought process was like, if we start trying early August, you have to get pregnant because it worked so quick with both the other boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no way that it's going to miss. And when it did and you weren't pregnant, I was really upset and was just like almost in my head, like you know how you start to like what's the word? Like you kind of like make a mountain out of a molehill. And I was just
you
like,
start to think second guess everything.
yeah, I was just like, well, then we were just not meant to have a baby, which is
Right.
obviously not a realistic way to think. It's like there's
No.
other months that you can still try.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it doesn't happen in the 1 month that you want it to,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that goal is, or whatever you're trying to do, doesn't mean that it isn't going to happen. That just means it wasn't meant to happen at that time.
Right.
And again, my thought process was just like throw everything out, like forget it. It's never going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's exactly what I wanted. And you had said we were trying to play God and it wasn't working. And so when we stopped doing that, you obviously eventually got pregnant. And the thing that you said that stuck with me that really gave me chills and it was just, I didn't look at it from this perspective because even though you were pregnant and now I know it's like August is our month that the baby's going to be born, it was still like, man, that kind of sucks that it didn't happen the way that I wanted it to though.
Right.
But you said, I felt like that was, which obviously, again, anybody that knows my mom will
Mhm.
know that she's this type of person, was her way of saying that it's not about me. It's about you guys.
Right.
And so even though you want it to happen in this way where the baby can share my birth month,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be more about you because this is your thing.
Right.
And again, people that know her know she's a very selfless person.
Yes.
Like one of the most selfless people that I've ever known.
Anytime we gave her like any kind of attention, it was just like,
Yes.
no. And
Yes. Never wanted anything to be about her no matter what.
yeah.
Like it could be the biggest celebration, like her birthday or whatever. Never wanted the attention to be about her. It was always about, like, she always cared about
The
everybody
boys,
else.
Yeah.
Especially the boys.
Yeah.
Especially the boys. So that just really stuck with me that and it kind of made it feel okay for me to
Mhm.
accept that. Be like, it's okay to accept that it didn't happen your way
Mhm.
because it was supposed to happen this way.
Yeah.
And this way is better, I promise you.
Yeah.
So That was the story of how I found out. And that's the crazy, crazy connection on everything. It just was like it's one of those moments where, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to in anything that's happened in their life that's significant, is like it's one of those moments that when it happens, you just think like, oh, I'm sorry, am I boring you?
Rude.
One
It
of those
is
moments, it's one of those moments, what?
9 o'clock.
Okay. Anyway, it's one of those moments where you just think like everything that I've been trying to manifest is happening in the way that it's supposed to happen, and it's finally happening. Like I've been waiting so long for this to actually happen, and now it's actually happening, and it just makes sense now.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing. But yeah, that's the story. Craziest story. So I'll just leave it open ended like this. If there's any comments or questions or other stuff that we could go more in depth about or share more on, leave a comment. Maybe I'll post this on Instagram too. Leave a comment below. And then we can go more in depth next time. But that's it. That's all I wanted to share. Recovery time delayed. High level of stress. I got to go to bed.
Next time we can talk about how I'm in like super geriatric high risk.
We don't want to talk about that.
How old I am.
No, I don't want to talk about that. Okay.
It's not the vibe.
Huh?
It's not the vibe.
No, I don't want to talk. Why would you
There's
want to talk about?
Nothing so far. Just that I'm old. So
Everybody knows that. You got
rude.
great. This is why I'm going to zoom in on your gray hairs. That's why I wear a hat, because you can't even see that. I don't even have hair, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, anywho.
That's what you get.
That's a new slang term. Anywho. People are going to start saying that. Anywho.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks for coming to my podcast.
Bye.
God, you're the worst. Peace.